Hello and welcome to SCC's Community Corner, a place where we highlight all the great things happening in our community. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm your host, Terry Priest. So we have some great folks in the studio with us today. I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about an event that has been going on in Columbus County for a very long time. Right, guys?
Yes.
It absolutely has.
So I have with us, Hannah Hazel. Hannah is this year's president of the North Carolina Strawberry Festival.
Thanks for having
being with
us.
And then somebody that's probably no stranger to anyone out there, we have Nathan Moore with us, who is the vice president of the Strawberry Festival. So Nathan, I want to start with you. I want you to tell us a little bit about the history of the Strawberry Festival.
Well, I appreciate, number one, you having us in this forum. The North Carolina Strawberry Festival has always been about bringing our community together. And if you think back, we are coming into our 92nd year.
Wow.
We're the oldest agricultural festival in North Carolina. So let's turn back the dial a little bit. In 1907, we had the largest one-day shipment of strawberries. I want you to think about this in Chadbourn, 180 railroad box carloads of strawberries. Over 15,000 workers were coming to help and move berries by rail to Chadbourn and really all over the world, even up into Chicago. And the continued success of the industry eventually became a reason for entertainment. And in order to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the strawberry industry, the first Strawberry Festival was inaugurated on May 26, 1926. So I want you to think about all the technologies that we have today, but going back to 1926. And really, people can lose themselves in Chadbourn, but it's really been this county that's protected this North Carolina Strawberry Festival.
Since 1926. Was there ever a time when they didn't have one?
So there was only 1 year,
Okay.
up until COVID, that we never had it. And that was during the war, that we did not have the festival, and then COVID was the only other time that we didn't have it.
That's so cool.
So that's it.
Well, it's a big deal. It really is. And so when you think about what's really the purpose of the festival?
So it's really about the farmer. So much of the history of Columbus County has been built off the backs of the men and women that have produced these amazing crops. And that's why it first started, to celebrate the farmer. If you think of soil, if you think of your life as good soil, Klondike strawberries, which is what specifically we were able to grow here, started because of our very unique soil. And you got to remember, there's only a 4-week time that they can grow because of our soil. Of course, in California and Florida, they have different berries. But the Klondike is the much bigger, juicier, natural sweet. And that's really to go back and reward the farmer for all their hard work and what they mean to our community.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, Hannah, yes, you are this year's president of the festival.
I am.
So, first off, tell us about you. And then tell us a little bit about the festival.
Okay, so I moved to Chadbourn in 2018, and I worked at the charter school, and then I had babies and decided to not teach anymore, and so I chose to stay home with them. And then Jennifer Keynes asked me to join the festival in 2021. I think it was when they were starting up again after COVID. And so, yeah, I kind of just jumped right in that year and have stayed involved since. And I mean, I'm here, I'm raising my children here, and so I take pride in Chadbourn, and I think the Strawberry Festival is a great way to do that.
That's great. So tell us about the festival. When is it this year?
So first weekend in May, Saturday, May 3rd is the big festival day. We do have some changes this year that we just, want everyone to be aware of. So we are combining the encounters and the luncheon. And so there will be no luncheon Saturday morning. And because of that, we've also changed the parade time. So the Strawberry Festival Parade will be Saturday, May 3rd at 11 a.m.
Saturday morning.
Yes,
That's
yes,
good.
and we're excited about that. That just kind of gives the association and everyone more time to enjoy the festivities going on at the event field. But as Nathan was talking about with the farmers, we still want to honor that and we still want to celebrate that. So we are moving the auction that would have taken place at the luncheon to the evening of encounters. Okay. And so we'll still have our strawberry auction and all of that stuff just Friday evening, May 2nd at the Chadbourn Depot weather permitting.
Yeah.
And to add that in, part of the reason, a lot of people, there was a few folks that got a little excited. You know, no one likes change. Whether people realize that or not, in our Columbus County, because of our strategic location, that time of the year, all over this county, people are racing to the beaches. Well, what this is going to do is, number one, it's going to allow the beach traffic to continue to flow. Because when we used to have it until after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can imagine the back. The other thing is that we used to do the auction on Saturday, and it would butt right up to the parade. Well, in order to be judged properly by the North Carolina agricultural standards, they have to pick those berries that day. You can't pick them 2 or 3 days in order to be officially judged. Well, what had happened was, farmers have worked all week. Now you're asking me to get up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, go pick flats of berries to be judged. And to me, besides the queens and the parade, if you've never come to a strawberry auction, it is amazing to see some of those berries sell for $2,500, $3,000. Well, there was a big portion of people that couldn't attend in the mornings because they're getting floats ready, they're getting their community ready. So now, by moving everything to that Friday night for the encounters and the official auction, now everybody can come and do it together. Plus, give us more time to get ready for the parade.
Okay. So I saw on the schedule that there's actually, first off, we got a pageant, right?
Yes,
We
so
do.
the pageant kind of kicks off our festival time because it's usually a week or two prior, and I believe this year, so it's Saturday, April 26th, and it's here at Southeastern in the auditorium, and that'll be at 6:30, and that's the scholarship pageant for the older group, and then Sunday in the auditorium at 3 will be the youth pageant.
Okay, that's always a big event.
It is. You know, I think in 2025, people have a big misunderstanding about pageants. And the Strawberry Festival, like so many of the pageants, are actually the scholarship pageants. And Terry, I know you'll appreciate this with both of our involvement at Southeastern. The Miss North Carolina and all scholarship pageants are the largest funding arm for women's education in North Carolina. And people don't realize it. So our scholarship pageant is $2,500 that our Miss Strawberry gets. So it's another reason why we embrace, yes, it's about beauty, but it's so much further than about education and furthering what they can do professionally.
That's right. And then you select someone that's going to represent the Strawberry Festival everywhere else, right?
They do. They absolutely
Yeah, that's great. So then also I saw opening ceremonies.
Yes, so the Tuesday following the pageant, that would be April 29th, we'll have our opening ceremonies at the event field with our Chicken Bog fundraiser. Tickets are available for pre-sale from any association member. They're also at Peacock Stop or Worthington Funeral Home. And we have the holiday band this year. That'll be free entertainment. Plates can be taken to go, or there's also tables and chairs if anyone wants to stay and eat there.
So you mentioned the Strawberry Festival field. Tell folks where, everybody might not know where that field is.
Absolutely. So it is conveniently located by the world famous Chadburn Food Line
Oh, right.
and Number One Chinese. It's that huge field behind Hardee's.
Okay.
Is what we consider the Strawberry Field.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. I just want to make sure everybody knew
No,
where that was.
I think that's really important.
Okay, so we got opening ceremonies, we got the scholarship pageant, the Chicken Bog fundraiser, and it hadn't even started yet,
It hasn't
right?
even started, no. And then we do celebrate the National Day of Prayer at the Chadburn Gazebo on Thursday, May 1st at noon. And then we have the encounters that we spoke of on Friday night.
And that's a ticketed event?
It is, the only ticketed event, and that'll be available on our website, ncstrawberryfestival.com. And if anyone has any questions, the ncstrawberryfestival@gmail.com is the best way to get up with us.
Great, so they can just send that email there. That's awesome. And then the parade.
Yes.
Parade, that's a big deal. That has always been a huge parade.
It is. It's a very big parade. We're very thankful for Danny Long and his expertise. He really organizes and makes sure it runs as a well-oiled machine.
Any idea how many units will be in there?
I would say on the average, we run anywhere from 80 to 120. I'll tell you a really cool little history fact for those in Columbus County. So Danny was taught how to lead the parade by another very significant farmer by Ward Shaw. And Mr. Ward's in his late 80s. So I want you to think about these people that have been embracing and impacting this parade. And Danny, how many volunteers does he have to pull off that parade? People have no clue.
I mean, it's so nice because we actually have people who do not meet with us leading up to the festival. They just are willing to come out the day of, and we can always use those volunteers as well. So if it's someone that just wants to be a part of that day, they're more than welcome to email and reach out to do that as well.
Hannah and I joke when we go to other festivals, we're like, they need a Danny Long. Because what makes Danny significant is you got to think about, he's got to block off all the cross streets, but in order to create an effective parade, you don't want too much lull. And Danny is able to keep the parade moving, and he's really masterful at it. But he learned from Ward Shaw, who learned from somebody. So it's just really neat, the tradition that
a lot of
continues
history.
on. Yeah.
So you mentioned, so you all have been to, I guess, other places in the state to really learn how to
Absolutely.
refine everything, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So where have you been?
Probably our biggest sister where we've learned, we actually even started before the Azalea Festival. For the example, the Azalea Festival has over 1,000 volunteers. We are lucky if we get 20 going into the planning of the festival. But just watching other things, I think Danny has done a masterful job reaching out across the state, whether it's other bigger festivals in Charlotte or Raleigh, and using the same process and always running it as if we were one of those major cities. And though we might not have the population, he still takes care in the quality of the parade that we put on.
So I did visit the website just to look, and you get a lot of community support, correct?
We do. We are so thankful for the many sponsors that we are just blessed to have the support throughout the county and some in surrounding counties. I mean, they truly want to see us succeed. And there's, for example, someone that reached out to me today, and they actually have an event on that day too. But they're like, we still want to support you, and it's a fun experience to get to reach out to those different people and see, the impact that they want to have on our festival.
That's right. Well, that's a great thing about Columbus County. We support each other.
It really is. I mean, just being here today is a prime example. I mean, Southeastern Community College has been such a fabric of our community. Y'all are just one of the groups that work together and intertwine what we do. But I was recently talking to someone that, and some of the Southeastern students are going to be sad about this. We used to have the parade on Fridays. Do you know they used to let out students of Southeastern to go to the Strawberry Festival?
And the elementary schools.
Yeah,
they let all the schools out early.
For the community college to close down early so everybody could go to the festival really says something about the Strawberry Festival.
That is awesome. Well, you brought some swag, so I'm assuming these will be available for purchase and that kind of thing?
That's some exciting new merchandise.
That's awesome.
We just got those tumblers in the mail, and
That's really cool. I love this. I haven't even
no
seen it.
one's seen them but me, actually. They were delivered to my house, and the bags are new as well.
They look really good.
And we actually decided as an association, because we had an abundance of t-shirts left over from last year, we're actually going to use those again this year.
Absolutely.
Because we've decided a couple years ago not to date them. Some people like the date. Most people were, just excited to have a t-shirt. So we'll have those t-shirts available, the tumblers and the bags.
Great.
And a couple other things that are still in the works, but those have come and arrived. So
That's
we're
awesome.
really excited.
Well, thanks for bringing them to show us.
I'm a hopeless historian, and if you look at this logo, what's really neat is this logo was designed. Those of us that went to school in Chadbourn, Francis Jenkins, Raven Jenkins was a primary school principal, and his wife, who taught school, she designed that logo. So what we try to do is sort of embrace our past history, but then also bring in, so Hannah and Jennifer were able to come up with this new logo, and it's just cool how they're able to maintain the historical significance and at the same time sort of help us push forward.
Great.
All from a young lady from West Virginia.
That's great.
I think it's really cool. A lot of people like the Francis Jenkins, right?
Yes, yes.
Logo. And so we incorporated that on those t-shirts, and then again for the bags, but also, you know, the new logo's fun too. So just the fact that we have the options of these like 2 solid logos that we get to advertise, it's
great.
fun.
We love a good logo around here.
Absolutely.
Thank you all so much for being
Thank
with
you.
us
Thank
today.
you again for
and
having
we're so
us.
excited to hear all the wonderful things that are going on, and everybody will look forward to May 3rd, that weekend, and the activities leading up to it. So you all are great for carrying that flag, and we appreciate
Well,
you all being here today.
Thank
So
you.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
And thank y'all for joining us here on SCC's Community Corner. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.